And Lil Duval actually said something. Let me see if I can find it. Lil Duval said, where is it at? I know I got it. Damn, do I post this much? God damn. By the way, salute to salute to all my like chat niggas who continually help me with content that I could post. You know, I don't know if you guys think I do it all by myself, but like there's a lot of chat niggas who really sending stuff. Okay, Lil Duval said if Justin Bieber, one of the biggest artists out, sold his catalog for $2 million, that should tell you how much these rest of these folks be capping. Now, this is off of everybody claiming they're selling their catalog for a wild amount of money. So if you don't know, so Justin Bieber, 200 million. We're gonna actually read this article because this is gonna be a very interesting article. Let's go to Variety. Everybody cool? Let me just check on everybody in the chat. You know, I have a Twitch chat, the Twitch chat on the screen, but I gotta make sure YouTube is good. Okay, I see YouTube is booling. Okay. Okay. Let's try to make sure everybody is good before, because I hate when y'all be like, yo, act don't read the chat like I'm like some type of hoe ass nigga, man. Like I'm just some type of hoe ass nigga, man. I wish I could sound like one of them Louisiana niggas, man. All right, cool. All right, bet. Great. All right, so perfect. We're gonna read this article because I try to give like a little bit of like also music education when you watch me. So what Duval said was if Bieber sold his catalog for 200 million, he says some of these niggas is capping. But the devil is in the details. A lot of times people don't understand the music business. And I'm not saying Duval don't, and I haven't even researched this yet, but we're gonna look at it live. Let's go to the Variety article because we got to know what niggas is selling. So I keep telling you, like a lot of times, dudes are doing some of these deals for their publishing. Some are selling their masters or their portion of the masters. I'm gonna try to help you help explain stuff in like nigga terms or just regular human terms, because I don't even know why they made even the music industry even sound so complicated. It's really simple, right? But I think they made it complicated that they could take advantage of artists. As expected, Justin Bieber sold his music rights to a Blackstone-backed Hypnosis song Capital for north of 200 million. The company has announced news of the impending deal, which has been rumored for weeks, was widely reported last month. The deal includes Bieber's share of his publishing and recorded music catalog, Bieber's interest in his publishing copyrights, including the writership, the performance, masters, recordings, and neighboring rights for his entire back catalog, compromising 290 titles before December 31st, 2021. Okay? All right. Let me be honest about this deal, right? Because I think we all think Bieber is a very big deal. I don't know if can I pull up Spotify right here? It's going to help me. Spotify, Justin Bieber. Give me a second. Should be able to pop up. Okay, perfect. Here we go. He's had some fucking huge songs. Look, let me make this a little bit smaller. I can see it. Anytime you see about 1 billion streams on Spotify, those are songs probably eligible to be close to diamond. So look, he has a lot of songs. Look, I'll do see more. A lot of songs. That's why people are saying, how is he only getting 200 million? Like if Future got like 75, how is he getting 200 million? Right? And not that he probably dropped more songs in Future, but like, look, yeah, 68 million monthly listeners. Like, what the fuck is going on? Right? Now I'm gonna click on one of these songs. Okay, let's click on Baby. Everybody knows that song, Baby, right? Perfect. And this is another reason why I like, oh, it won't show me the shit. Oh, it won't show. Oh, I gotta log in. All right. I'll do it even easier. I'll go to Wikipedia. Justin Bieber Wikipedia. And I'm gonna try to make this very short because Sometimes I feel like I'm giving like a lecture, and some of y'all care and some of y'all don't give a fuck. The important thing to know when you're thinking about what niggas could possibly sell is, all right, let me just say this, right? All of these dudes, I don't care if it's Bieber or anyone else, they don't own their shit. Like, the music business is all predicated on you don't owning your shit. It don't matter if you're a huge artist. It's predicated on you not owning your shit. It's actually worse for a pop artist because they drop less albums. It's better for a Future and a Young Boy because they're getting out of their deals like this, because a lot of these dudes sign 4-album deals. How long does it take Bieber to drop 4 albums? Let's go to his discography, right? So let's say his first fucking deal was like a 4-album type situation. Let's go to his discography. God damn. This motherfucker got everything. Discography. Okay, discography. Bingo. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He dropped 6 albums in 10 years. Because he's a pop artist, he doesn't drop that frequently. Now, he's probably dropped, I don't know if he's dropped mixtape. No, there's just albums. Now, he's done collabs this and third, but these are his albums. If you ask me, probably 4 or 5 of these are under the first contract he ever signed. Now, maybe they probably are nice. Well, not even nice, but like, you know, the guy's making a shit ton of money. If you have him on a rookie contract, you probably just up the terms, like, for example, say the second album, say you signed him for, I don't know, who did he sign to? Did he sign to Akon or something like that? Right? And by the way, we got to look at where that goes through. Basically, like, I'm going to make this really short because I know some of y'all are bored with, you know, really nitty gritty of the music industry. He probably renegotiated once or twice, but he's still in that long contract. Here's the point. And it's the same thing going with like Meg Thee Stallion and shit like that, right? But as I said, hip hop artists produce music quicker and drop albums more frequently when it comes than pop acts, right? Because also hip hop artists do mixtapes and then they fight tooth and nail to try to get those to count as albums, right? Here's the thing. Bieber signed a record deal. It's no way he owned any of his masters. And I know people act like it's only black artists that get screwed. Every artist gets screwed. When he signed, he definitely don't own his masters, right? And he probably re-upped, like maybe around the 3rd album. And maybe he owns like, I don't know, let's say at best half of the masters with the label. So the reason why he's not getting $1 billion, because the streams would say he should get a shit ton of money. He's not going to get $1 billion because he don't own it. You don't own it. Why are they giving him the money? He don't own the shit. You only pay who owns the shit. That's the point. So for anybody who cares about ownership and shit like that, it comes into effect now. There's these big companies and conglomerates that's going around and they're giving out these huge deals. They're like, we want your catalog, Future. We want this. By the way, a lot of them are Chinese based and they're actually overseas based, which if you've seen that spa balloon, they're buying up real estate in America. They're taking over TikTok, and they're buying up all the music. By the way, they own a Chinese company named Tencent. Chinese company. Tencent. They bought a piece of UMG, which is the biggest label that signs Drake. Look, Tencent buys UMG. They bought Tencent. So a Chinese company officially owns 20% of Universal Music Group. Who's on a Universal? Drake, Kendrick, Taylor Swift, Post Malone, The Weeknd. As I'm saying, be warned. Be warned. Be warned. Be warned. China. China. Okay, anyway. For whatever reason, I don't know the play yet. I'm looking into it. I'm trying to talk to people, trying to figure out what the play is for this. Because they're getting funded billions of dollars to go to individual artists to buy their whole catalog, right? There's a bunch of groups doing it. I don't know. Let me go back to Variety because we're going to try to be fact-based. I don't know if this is Chinese, though. I'm going to be honest. To Blackstone-backed Hypnosis Capital. You see, you always got to Google shit. Google shit. You got to figure out what the fuck it is. Okay, this is a UK investment company. Here we go. So UK investment company offering blah, blah. Okay. So it's a UK company. So all this tells me that we're getting international plays where people are doing venture capitals, big little, investment companies are buying up hip hop and I want to say just U.S. artists' rights. Why? Interesting to think about, right? Just think about that. A lot of them are Chinese companies, but this one is particularly in the UK company. Now, again, to counter what my man Duval was saying, Bieber don't own most of his shit. That's why he's getting 200. Remember, usually when you sign to a label, they own the entire master. A normal record contract, you sign away your masters, but you get royalties, and you get advances, and you get a publishing. You get publishing. Usually, if back in the day, Diddy and them. If you wonder why Diddy and them, no disrespect to Diddy. Hopefully, if he sees this, don't think I'm dissing him. If you wonder how these niggas got so rich, they used to take artists publishing. Like the publishing used to just be for the label. Now it's kind of frowned upon. Like if you're taking someone's publishing, people have realized the publishing, your kid's supposed to go to the mailbox and get those checks. If like for example, me and Boom, we riding in the car, we listen to that song, Return of the Mac, Return. You know that song? Mark Morrison. If you look at his catalog, that's the only song really he got. Every nigga, the Fetty Wap done sampled it. Chris Brown done sampled it. Post Malone done sampled it. There's like a million songs that sampled it. Now, that song has about 300 million plays on Spotify. Granted, it's a very historic song. I think it came out in like 74, so it probably did the numbers already. But here's where publishing comes in. Everybody will keep sampling that song because it's a classic song. That one song alone will feed generations of his family. Every quarter, they're going to go to the mailbox and probably pick up a check for, who knows, hundreds of thousands, maybe not, maybe millions. Especially if a new song sampled it recently. So this is how it shows how one song could feed a fucking generation of people. That's how important a song is. Now, if you don't own the publishing, well, he not getting the money. That's how important owning your publishing is, right? So what they used to do to artists is that the label owner would take the majority of publishing and give you an extra check. So you signed for $250,000. He said, all right, well, how about I give you an extra $250,000 and I own your publishing? You don't even know what publishing is. You don't know that if you get a big song that everybody for now till forever will ever fucking, sample, that's how you're going to get paid. You signed off with Diddy, said, okay, take my publishing, but give me the extra $250,000. Okay, dummy. You got $500,000 now, and now you made a song that's the biggest song ever. You get paid in the moment, but Diddy and, everybody else who's, shake that at the Bad Boy Mansion and Carisha, they're eating off that publishing check. That's how it goes. So anyway, I only say this because I'm not trying to down on Bieber, but Bieber probably don't own much of his shit. Okay, let's just be honest, right? I'll use the GOAT to juxtapose to this, right? Champagne Poppy Drake. One thing, let me tell you this. Another reason why Drake is, and I'm telling you this not because I spoke to him, but just using your fucking brain. The reason why, if y'all don't realize, Drake put out 3 projects in a year. He kept it cool, but he put out 3 projects in a year. He's not putting out, he's going to spin the story. Yeah, I'm bored. I'm bored in the embassy. I just want to put out music. No, he's trying to run up these checks and get through these deals and renegotiate again. Drake is one of them. And I don't got to say one of them is. But his paperwork is on point. You feel me? And such is the case, he's renegotiated a bunch of times. Now, if you look at Drake, I can tell you this is a fact. So Drake since 2010, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? From what I hear and based on his negotiation tactics, every Drake mixtape or album has counted for him as an album. So think about how many contracts he's re-upped on. Remember, the way they used to fuck artists over is like, oh, a mixtape is what you do to get hot. Like, because a mixtape used to be you rapping over people's beats, which they couldn't sell. So they'd be like, oh, that doesn't count in your record contract. Right? And obviously that started in the 50 Cent era, this and third, but then These days, people put out full projects and they just call it a mixtape. Now your label's gonna be like, oh, that don't count. So you still owe us 2 albums. That's what they've been doing to Meg. Drake has so much leverage that, he made it known, if I'm putting out a fucking project, it's counted as an album. Right? So this is through the grapevine. He renegotiated before Views. No, before Nothing Was the Same, which is kind of ill. Right? Remember he dropped So Far Gone, Thank Me Later, Take Care. Renegotiated before Nothing Was the Same. After Nothing Was the Same, dropped If You're Reading This Is Too Late. That counts as an album. Drop Views. That counts as an album. Re-upped again. Drop Scorpion. Right? What a Time to Be Alive. My bad. What a Time to Be Alive actually comes before that. What a Time to Be Alive. What's that other shit called? More Life. All counted as albums. And he did a really dope thing. I'm gonna show you here. If you wanna look at how Drake has done his finessing, look at here. Album details, right? You could go to Wiki. This is pretty publicly available. You just gotta have attention to detail. So this was dropped in 2010, right? You're gonna notice at first the label, because he was signed to Young Money, Cash Money, right? Universal Motown was like kind of like the distributor at that point. You're gonna realize his label shit keeps changing. Watch. After this point, Republic actually took over. So Take Care is dropped on Young Money, Cash Money. You'll see Republic here. That's the major label, right? Then you're gonna start seeing OVO. Very smart thing Drake did. Drake started in his negotiation. He basically like for example, okay, I'm not trying to make this too technical because I don't want to lose my casual viewers. Whether Kendrick want to say it or not, a lot of the reason ain't because he was writing a fucking album for 5 years. That's why he didn't do it. Contractually, he was getting his shit straight. You get what I mean? And contractually, he was trying to leave TDE. Now, he was trying to build what his new label is called PG Lang. What Drake did was that OVO, he knew he wanted to eventually just be on his own label, but he still want to get funding from like that super major label, which is UMG. But he wants to work OVO into the situation that he could start owning some of his masters. I could imagine Take Care and Thank Me Later. He probably doesn't own the masters of those. Nothing Was the Same. Negotiated, renegotiated, own some of the masters to that. Might even been 10, 20%. Maybe like max 25. You get what I mean? Views happened. Views was a very interesting story. I'm going to tell you why it was an interesting story. Because let me make sure my timeline is also good. If you look back at UMG, Lil Wayne drops lawsuit, right? So Lil Wayne comes to a settlement you're going to see in 2018. In 2018, right? This is not printed online. I've just learned this through the grapevine. So the lawsuit, essentially, and by the way, tell me, I got to look at the chat because I don't want to bore you. We could get to much more interesting shit. If this is boring, please just spam next topic. It is very perfectly fine. I'm trying to kind of give a little bit of, education here, but I'm not trying to fucking bore you out of death type shit. And also, if you're aspiring, musician, if whatever you might want to get in the industry, remember when I said that thing about the old heads? It's kind of like, because how does nobody actually just kind of kick some game that you could be a little bit with a leg up before you walk into like a door? All right. So cool. All right. Thank you, chat, by the way. Thank you for the motivation. All right. So this was a situation with the Lil Wayne lawsuit, right? Lil Wayne basically claimed, I never got residuals. I didn't get all my advances. I missed out on certain shit. I've been killing it. His lawyer and his accountants come up to the figure of $51 million that they're owed, right? Accountant was missing. All type of shit's going crazy. Normally, let me just tell you how, and by the way, I think Birdman pretty much admits this. He said, their accountant was the best. He said it was the first time he ran a label. He kind of took blame for that. The way how many labels do it is kind of like many companies. And I mean companies, content companies. you have to audit them or they're not going to pay you, right? They're just going to assume that whatever they spent on you is more than what you made. So why even cut you a check? So the only check they cut you is the advance, which is a loan. And they're thinking that you will never recoup versus the loan plus all the expenses they're spending to make the album, promote the album, put the album out, fly you on jets, doing all these things. So they never pay you again, right? This is the reason why Blueface is getting hit in the head with a Henny bottle, right? That's what it is. Like these guys, Blueface probably got like a check of like, I don't know, $500,000, $600,000. It's probably half of what he needs for the album, but they're not going to greenlight an album because Blueface is cold, right? So he's not going to get another check. He's not getting no residuals. He probably said, fuck it. Rather than stay here trying to keep performing Moonwalking and Calabasas, which isn't a song, and Tatiana doing all this weird gyration shit, let me just go do something else because the label, this is a business. They're not going to cut you another check until you whatever. So Wayne comes up with a number, 51 million. He sues, right? After he sues, Birdman basically says, I don't even got the money to pay. Now, Birdman ain't broke. Birdman is cashed up. Birdman has a fucking gold toilet. Like, Birdman lives like a fucking king. They got Bugattis, Maybachs you never fucking seen. It's Birdman, okay? So, what ends up happening, he says, I ain't paying. They start beefing because he doesn't even really want to come to see terms with Wayne, right? He's, I ain't paying the shit, right? He does an Angie Martinez interview, basically says, yo, in reality, yeah, me and my son, we gonna get it back together, but 51 million, that nigga tweaking, right? Basically saying he would probably pay less. If you ask me, Birdman ain't trying to pay over $10 million, right? Cool. It goes on. It's going through courts. They ask for Birdman's motherfucking legal documents, like the accountant shit. It's all in shambles. Now, what happens is that Young Money, which is owned 51% by Birdman, and Cash Money, which is owned 100% by Birdman and Slim, they're financed by Universal. So in asking all the parties for accounting, they ask Universal for accounting. Universal is realizing this is going to be a big legal thing. They don't really want to get all the way into the shit. They come up with a perfect situation. They said, Birdman, we know you got the fucking money because we used to cut you all them checks. You know you fucked up, blah, blah. Birdman's probably like, just hand her up, whatever the case is. They tell him, this is how we're going to solve it. We're moving Lil Wayne's contract to Republic, straight to Republic. So we're taking the contract out of your hands. You will get no more cut from what Lil Wayne is doing, unless he gives you publishing, which that might be some side deal. And we get Nicki and Wayne, or Nicki and Drake, and supposedly Tyga, but like Tyga was already out of his shit. So everybody from Young Money goes straight to Republic. So Republic is saying, we're going to pay Wayne this $50 million, but we're paying him this $50 million because now we're absorbing all the profits that Birdman's supposed to make off of them. We just care about keeping the engine going. If we could recover this $50 million off these guys in the next, I don't know, because they could wait 20 years, we're good. And that's how exactly it happened. Okay, Birdman don't pay a dime. Universal pay all the money. Wayne contract move up. They still say Cash Money, like, CMB, like the gang, whatever. But it's under Republic. Wayne, Nicki, Drake, right? Cool. You'll notice then when Drake drops when Drake drops Scorpion, you're gonna start seeing Republic. Well, actually, actually, my timeline's a little bit off. No, this is the last album that is Young Money, Cash Money, right? Because if you look at the time, what is it? June 6th. He turned it in already, even though it's got dropped June 29th. This was the last, and I think he had some ominous bars about his label situation. I don't know if y'all remember. Drake always be rapping about his label situation when it's time to re-up. He had some type of bars about it, but it came out with an imprint here, but it was really a Republic release. Anyway, after that, you're going to notice, what do you drop after Scorpion? We got to go to the mixtapes. So the mixtapes, call it the mixtapes, but you already know what it is. Where's the mixtapes? Dark Lane demo, you're gonna see just straight Republic. You don't see Young Money Cash Money again. So after 2018, you never see Young Money Cash Money again. Like, it's like Young Money Cash Money is like a imprint that Birdman owns, but they won't fund it no more type shit. You get what I mean? So everything is just Republic, and that's them making back the money that they paid to Wayne, because Birdman they want to pay, right? So they're making some money off Drake, making some money off Nicki, whatever the case is. And what you're also gonna realize is that after Scorpion, well, this is not public information, Drake negotiates, and from then on, what's been told to me is that Drake owns at least half of his masters. So Drake got so much leverage now at he could really just not re-sign. He got so much leverage. He owns half of his masters. That's not typical, right? Keep in mind, I told you the Young Boy story. Atlantic did not want to give that nigga none of his masters, but Drake supposedly owns half of his masters here, and he does the new deal, right? Right before he drops CLB. When does CLB drop? It dropped in 2022, right? Where is CLB at? Yeah. All right, 2021. He does a new deal. This is the one for like 500 to 600 million. And I hear he gets even more of his masters. So I don't know what percentage directly, but he owns the majority of his masters for all of these releases. So essentially, not to shit on Bieber, but when Drake sell his shit, you're not getting no. I know Bieber's popular and Bieber got 200. Drake's getting like 2 billion. It's straight hit out the water. And the reason why, I was long-winded to explain it to you. The reason why all this happened is that the pop artists, they don't negotiate or renegotiate as much because they don't drop as much projects. Drake dropped all type of EPs, mixtapes, collab albums, and basically he has the leverage where he could force the label to count them as albums because they're selling amazing. And essentially, they want to keep him happy because if Drake's unhappy, the music business would be in shambles. So now he owns pretty much a good amount of his masters. I don't know what his publishing situation is. I'm pretty sure he's just owning all his publishing unless he got like some wild publishing deal, which I don't think he needs. And whenever he decides to sell, I think that's going to be the $1 billion play. Now, anyway, I said all that to say, and that was long-winded, I'm sorry. It explains, if you take pieces of what I said, Michael Jackson, the estate is nearing a music catalog sale of near $1 billion almost, okay? Actually, let me, Michael Jackson estate variety. Now, Michael Jackson did mad sales for his catalog before. Mad sales, not his catalog, but there's publishing deals that I believe they did before. Anyway, let me read it. Michael Jackson's estate is in process of selling half of his interest in the legendary's musical catalog in a deal in the $800 million to $900 million range. Sources confirmed to Variety. Also, let me give you the play too, right? I want to give you all the play. Again, this is just music nerd, music business understanding shit. So here's the thing. Like, for example, you might say, why did Future sell, part of his catalog? By the way, YoungBoy did a deal too. But if you're wondering why Future sold his shit, is that with hip hop artists, again, because you produce music more quickly, or just quickly, if you sold the last 7 projects, in the next 4 years, how many projects do you think Future finna put out? He's probably gonna put out 7 more projects. So again, they look at it as, maybe I'm lowballing myself if I'm only going to have those 7 projects that you bought, but I'm about to make 7 projects in the next 3-4 years. So, yeah, those are classic songs, but I'm about to get some new classic songs. So that's why hip-hop artists are kind of trying to get on the role of selling shit. But some of these other guys who don't put out music as much, I don't think it works out for them as much like it works out for hip-hop artists. Anyway, Michael Jackson's dead, though. And I could imagine the family or the estate is just trying to get some money to probably do some other shit. So it says about $1 billion for about half of his interest. And I don't think they have, I don't know how much they have. Look, while details are unclear, sources say that Sony and a possible financial partner are negotiating to acquire 50% of his interest in Jackson's publishing and recorded revenues. That's interesting. This is also interesting because I think Michael Jackson's estate owns somebody else's publishing. Michael Jackson estate it owns like the Beatles catalog, which is interesting. Something like that. It was sound financial advice that McCartney may have come to regret given on August 14, blah, blah, when Michael Jackson purchased the publishing rights for the vast majority of the Beatles catalog for $47 million. Oh, my God. Like, white people love the Beatles. Anyway, all right, I'm done with the music nerd shit. This is just kind of interesting to know. I hear there's a lot of deals being talked about. Salute to everybody who's collecting bags. Salute to Irv Gotti, who did a good job collecting his bag. Everybody's collecting their bag right now. I'm not sure how long this buying spree is gonna last, but look, see, we hear this. There was a $200 million plus acquisition from Dr. Dre. Yeah, everybody's selling, man. And they had acquired the rights to Taylor Swift's first 6 albums. Remember, that's why Taylor Swift has re-recorded her albums. You get what I mean? Taylor Swift was tight about this. She lost the rights to Scooter Braun, and then Scooter Braun sold that bitch. Anyway, all right, enough of that. Music nerd shit. Let's get into the bullshit, man. Let's get into the bullshit, people. Bruce, what up, man? By the way, let me shout out my gifteds real quick because yesterday I forgot to do it and I felt so horrible I got off stream without shouting out my gifteds on Twitch. Jinx 9 and 10, please, thank you so much for the 10 gifted. Playful Anxiety with the 5 gifted, appreciate you so much. Bentega Zilla, Goon, Insta Tsunami, thank you. Phantom Squad, A is Shek, Karina, thank you. Houdini Soul, oh, thank you. Damn, this nigga went crazy. Probably did about like 20 yesterday. Damn, a lot of people resubscribe. Enzo Kubrick, thank you. The Golden One, Drill, damn, Drill gave gift to like 10. Appreciate you, Drill.